Like Russian dolls these, but if you can put one container inside another and carry 2 or 3 for the space of one, all well and good. Before I play or start the rest of this video, just a little, it's not so much a disclaimer, but some of you might not like to look at what you're going to be gawping at for the best part of 8 to 9 minutes, and that is a dead shrew. And a dead shrew that's been dead for quite a few days, but the activity in and around and underneath the shrew is very interesting, and the invertebrate at the end of the video, I think, is well worth it. Now, at first glance, or even second, third and fourth glance, etc., for some of you, this may not be the most interesting of shots, but something is at work on this dead shrew, or should I say something is at work underneath this dead shrew. Well, this shrew of some kind has obviously been dead for a day or so. It's been partially eaten by a range of invertebrates. Lots of flies have been attending this, but there is something afoot here, or should I say something underneath this particular shrew. One of perhaps the most wonderful things we have in the UK, and you may well notice that this shrew is moving. I can assure you that the shrew is long dead. It's not the shrew that's moving, but it's what's underneath that is moving it. We may well catch a glimpse of who's involved here. Underneath this carcass, on this woodland floor here in the middle of Gibraltar plantation, there are at least 1 and probably 2 sexton beetles digging away underneath this particular carcass. As the beetles dig, the carcass will fall into the cavity underneath, and then the beetles will cover up the shrew. Eggs will be laid, and the larvae will feed on the carcass. I'm not sure, but I've a sneaky feeling that sexton beetles exhibit a brood care and will stay with the larvae, but I'm not sure on that. I'm going completely off the top of my head here. I have not actually seen this being done, and hopefully one of the beetles will make an appearance. It did, and that's what attracted me to look closer at this, because one was on top, almost weighing up how large a job the beetles had got. There are a number of sexton beetles in the UK, and they're often, quite rightly, called burying beetles, because that's exactly what they do, and they're very good at it. In the meantime, you will see the shrew moving occasionally, the near side, front leg, you can see twitching a little bit, but it is long dead. It would be great if one of the sexton beetles was to come back out and show itself, because they are absolutely beautiful, jet black with 4 orange blotches on them. They really are very attractive things. You might not like what they do, but this is one of those instances where invertebrates perform an important task in the whole general grand scheme of things. The flies too. I know most people hate flies, but flies serve a really important purpose. They rid the surface of our planet of those materials and substances that we don't like, and in many cases can ultimately prove to be extremely toxic and poisonous to us and a danger. So you have to learn to appreciate flies more. Everything has a part to play in the grand scheme of nature's things. In the meantime, I've got to sit here now and hope that one of our hard at work sexton beetles, which really is going mad for it at the moment. Here we are underneath. You just got a very glimpse there where the sycamore seed is. It may well come out. It'd be nice if it does. You can just see the antenna. The antenna are all black. When you think about it, it's a huge undertaking. Even with 2 of them, it's probably still the equivalent to 2 humans digging a hole to bury an elephant. Mites also on the carcass, and they've probably come via being transported by the sexton beetle, which you can just start and see here. Look, here it comes. Look at that. I told you they were stunning. Well, I've just dug this sexton beetle out. It appears to be on its own. I don't think it's ever going to bury it, to be honest, because the ground is rock hard underneath the shrew. But I wanted you just to see this beetle, how beautiful it's marked. Fabulous. Why does nature, on a black beetle that does a very black and dark job, I suppose you could say, why does it put such fabulous orange spots and marks on it? Presumably the beetle is distasteful, and that's why. But what a fabulous thing. And there, if I remember right, there's 4 species of sexton beetle of this type that have the orange markings. There's various differences, but they're known as Nicrophorus or Nicrophorus beetles. But what a fabulous thing. And now I've handled it, my hands will smell, and I need to go and wash them. But what a super thing. And say, one of these in the act of burying prey item is something that I've not seen before.